All right, so we're here again with another segment of Apply Pressure with AP. And we got a very special guy here today. We have my guy Steve Lazo here. If you guys remember, about a year ago to this day, we did a quick conversation here at this podcast when Steve was new to Fave Realty. And we actually just spoke about, you know, his enthusiasm, his work ethic, and just the potential that he had at that time. And now, almost a year later, I would love to do a nice little recap with Steve just to see, you know, how his business has progressed since then, how he's feeling, where he thinks the business may be heading, and also just some advice for, you know, new agents that, you know, although Steve wasn't necessarily new, but agents that might have been at other brokerages, not necessarily producing the way they wanted to, made a change, and now seeing the fruits of their labor. So Steve, what's up, man?
What's going on, AP? Thank you for having me. So it's a pleasure to be here once again. I could just say time flies, and this is a business that you have to be a doer. You have to take motion and action, because if you don't, someone else is going to come right in and take your spot. Luckily, I was able to meet Andrew, the team at Fave, and they were able to help me get to the level of success I'm at right now. And I just see it elevating from here. I don't see it going anywhere else.
So now, I'm sorry. So quick question, right? So before you got to Fave about a year ago, how many transactions did you do?
None.
None at all? None. And how long were you licensed prior to coming to Fave?
Probably a year.
About a year. So
about a year.
About a year. You was with a different brokerage. We won't say the name. And you didn't have much success, which is okay.
Right.
Came over to Fave. We did that video, March 21st to be exact.
Right.
Today is March, what's today?
5th.
5th. Today's March 5th. So almost a year later. How many transactions have you done?
Right.
How many listings do you have? What you got in the pipeline? How's it
got
looking?
You.
Have you been applying pressure or not?
Absolutely. And this is something where it's, even if you do 1% better every day, 100 days later, you're going to be at 100%. And it's just going to go up from there. I've done 5 deals total, and I currently have 3 listings. One is under contract. We were able to get it under contract for $100,000 over asking, where this is something that you don't really see nowadays. During COVID, maybe. Now it's not something that you see too often, but with the right strategy, it can get done.
Especially at a high price point.
Absolutely.
A high price point.
You know, so that being said, there's future deals in the pipeline right now. I'm currently working with 2 buyers with accepted offers, and so forth.
So what do you think was like, what helped you to get on path? Like, what was that thing that turned the switch on? What turned the switch on?
Coming into a company where I felt like I found a home. I found people that were in the same position as me, that they're hungry, they're motivated, want to work, and having that guidance. You know, seeing Andrew taking calls. When I was with the other company, I had nowhere to turn to. You know, I didn't even know what my job was. But coming to Fave, I was well trained. And fast forward today, you know, it's just applying yourself. You got to do something. You can't just let it come to your lap, because it's not the way it works. So I'm just glad where I am, and I'm just excited for the future. Real estate is honestly the way to go.
Good stuff. So to some of the agents that might be watching this, that might be new or might be in the position that you were a year ago, what is like a day in the life of Steve Lazo right now? What's your work? What's your work ethic like?
Life is great. It's
like.
All right.
Go ahead, break it down.
It's so, you know, 24/7, always ready to take that call. I was telling you know, I have previous clients that want to meet up, go for lunch, grab coffee, catch up, and I'm at a position where I would love to, but I'm telling them, you know, I have to cancel last minute. I get a showing, I get an accepted offer, and have to do an inspection. So it's like being a police officer. You have your days you work, and the days you have off, if you see something happening in front of you, you're going to take action. You're always on the clock. So this is the same exact thing with real estate. You have to be available, because if you're not, someone else is. And, you know, that's how I've been.
Are you in the office? Are you?
I'm at the office. Yeah. Last night I was with Adam till almost past 9. You know, I got home 9:17. And I was there since before 10. Yeah. So it's something that, you know, a buyer came to sign at 10. I was there by 9, you know, and this is something where today I was up doing calls early in the morning. I'm here right now. I'm going to go to the office. I'm going to be there till 8:30, perhaps even later if I have to. But I also have a personal life. I want to stay committed to the gym. You know, I want to work out, build all around. It's not one aspect. If you're successful in one thing, that's great. But let that flow into other aspects of your life, you know? So relationships, your goals, your health, your mindset, and your financial wealth. So that's the day in the life, just always thinking ahead and seeing what's the best way to get me in the best position in the future.
So what would be your advice to a new agent that might have a buyer or two? Like how have you been able to get buyers in contract? You know, a lot of people who have buyers, they're showing them, they're putting offers out. What has helped you to get to that next step of contracts?
So I think
closing and all that stuff.
I'm a buyer as well, right? Everyone could essentially be a buyer, but you have to focus and work with the ones that are ready to go and in the position to move right now. And if they're not, it's your job as a real estate agent to guide them into getting that position where they could move. So just finding the right people that are ready to move, educating them properly, having the right connections, attorneys, lawyers, inspectors, appraisers, you know, just having a team of individuals that would make this process seamless for anyone that you're working with.
Exactly.
And
so network.
That's I guess the sauce, you know. That's the blueprint.
No, that's good sauce. I mean, it's funny because we had a meeting today with the team that you know, Cash Wayne was actually running, and it was a pretty good meeting. He was saying that, you know, to be a producing agent, you have to do money-making activities.
Right.
And a couple of agents were a little bit on the fence. They didn't really understand what he meant by that. And, you know, some of the things that you've mentioned, it might not sound like a money-making activity, but it is. Us being here, it's a money-making activity. You going to the gym, working out, getting your body right, your mind right.
Absolutely.
Networking at the gym is a money-making activity.
Absolutely.
You coming into the office, putting in, you know, prospecting, making phone calls, you door knock. You know, I mean, it's Facebook Marketplace. You know, there's multiple things that can be done that will get you to a check. And as a new agent, I think a lot of people, as Cash was saying earlier, they focus on some of the wrong things. They focus on the administrative work, the flyers, you know, my MLS, like, you know, just stuff that's not necessarily getting them to a check. And it's like, if you want to get to a check, like you said, you need a qualified buyer. You then need to work to that buyer's needs. You got to find them what they're looking for. You know, you're in a service business, so you can't just show them stuff that they don't like or that they can't afford. So, you know, once you have that qualified, serious buyer, you then have to work for them and with them to find them exactly what they're looking for that makes sense. You know, you need to, you know, plan your days and schedule your days out to do these tasks at the same time, because it's very easy. You have nobody over your back saying, today do this, today do that. So as a person that's trying to build a business, you need to know how to block out your days and say, you know what, Tuesday is going to be my day for admin work. Wednesday is going to be my day to schedule showings for my clients that I have for this weekend. Thursdays, I'm going to call sellers all day long. Fridays, I'm going to do content. And that's really, you know, how you prioritize your money-making activities and make sure that they all get done. Because if you say, I'm going to make calls, and then, you know, this happens, and then that happens, and then it's easy to get sidetracked, and now you just spent 5 hours probably doing nothing, you know? So I would say scheduling is very important, which I know you do. Time blocking, money-making activities are very important, which I know you do. And, you know, just working with qualified people, not wasting your time. You know what I mean? Because a lot of people end up wasting their time with people that might not be as serious as they think they might be.
Absolutely.
You know, so that's all good stuff. So yeah, so it's been about a year, right? So where do you see your business in the next year? You know, if you keep up at the same pace that you're at right now.
I'm sure a lot of people, especially if you're into real estate, are familiar with Grant Cardone, and he says 10x. My philosophy in my mind is 3x. 10x seems very unachievable, so a lot of people will say it and not do it. And it's, you know, you're only one person. You can't do 10 times the work you do right now if you're productive. But I'm pretty sure if you try hard enough, you could do 3 times the work you do. And if you do that, by the third year, you're at that 9, which is right next to 10. And after that, you're going to be exponentially growing. So that's what I plan on doing. Just keep working. I forgot the question, right?
No, you answered it. You answered it.
Okay. Yeah, looking
so you
at...
plan on 10x in your business
3x
or 3x in your business?
Yeah, every year. And it's very doable. It's very
good.
doable.
And I'm familiar with the 10x, you know, I guess term from Grant. I think more so his philosophy in that is you shoot for the, what they say, you shoot for the stars, you might land on
Absolutely.
the moon.
And
so it's like, if I want 10x, I might not 10x it,
Right.
but I might 7x it,
Right.
or I might 5x it.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So
and
I think that's a
Yeah.
dope method, you know.
And a lot of things work for different people. That might work for Andrew, but that might not
Might
work for
intimidate
someone that
somebody
is
else.
beginning its
No,
third or
right.
second year. And the last year they did very low, but if they focus on doing 3 times the amount of work they put in, most likely they're not putting 100% in. They might be putting 5%. So 10x and ads 50%. And if you have other responsibilities, a family, another job, you might not be able to do that. But if you 3x it and you only did 5%, you could definitely do 15. And the next year you'll do 45. And the next year you're past 100. And before you know it, you're going to be at that 100. So I see myself right there. I'm at the second year, my first year. It was easy to 3x it. I, didn't do much. I was doing other things. But then I pivoted to Fave where it just took off. And now I see it definitely 3xing at minimum. I'm already on track of that. And by next year, the sky's the limit.
1000%, man. Well, listen, I'm very, excited to see your progress, very happy to see your progress. Like I said in the last video, I said with the work ethic that you do and with the, work that you put in, it's only the inevitable for you to have success. And that's exactly what happened a year later. So I think if you continue on that path, the success will continue. You're motivating a lot of people. You've also recruited 1 or 2 agents as well, too. You're motivating senior agents at our office to do better. So I would say just keep doing what you're doing, man. Keep applying pressure. If you want to shout out your Instagram for the people.
Absolutely. My Instagram is I am Steve Lazo with dots in between,
So what is it?
am.steve.lazo.
All right, and then I'm going to put it at the bottom. I'm AP New York Group _RE. Again, shout out Cardinal Financial, best mortgage bank on the island, best mortgage bank in New York. Shout out Fave Realty. And we're out of here, man. Apply pressure with AP.
Yes, sir.